Hi, good afternoon everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am alone. Briggs was with some of his friends at a trampoline park kind of thing. Morgan is getting ready to head off to a wedding, and Jeanette is on the other side of the state at a women's meeting with some other ladies. Be coming home later tonight, so I thought I'd sneak out and look at an area, some rock types, some things we haven't seen yet. So I am heading out on Highway 16, which is going south of Rapid City, and just past Reptile Gardens. If you've been here before, you probably know where Reptile Gardens are located. And just going into the little town of Rockerville, that we're going to be taking the back road to a place called Foster Gulch, and then up on the Foster Gulch Road, and we're going to go to a place that is, or at least at the top. I don't know if we're going to go down to it yet. I'll see when we get there. The locals refer to it as Hippie Hole. Used to also be referred to as Big Falls, and it is probably a 15 to 20 foot waterfall on Battle Creek, down in a very deeply incised canyon in there's some granites in there. It's probably mainly metaquartzite, so really tough rock, really deep canyon. We'll at least get up on the rim up there. So right now I have stopped at a place referred to as Stratobowl. It's the site in 1936 or so. A hot air balloon lifted off from here. It was at the time the record flight for altitude up into the stratosphere. The people that were in it wore essentially the equivalent of spacesuits because of the cold temperatures, and had to have oxygen and whatnot. The last time I was at the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum in Washington, the gondola for this particular balloon was displayed in the Air and Space Museum. So I don't know how often they change their displays, but you might have seen it if you've been there. So right behind me is the only geology sign in the Black Hills. There is a fault in the formations up here. The Deadwood Formation, we have seen the Deadwood Formation in a couple of videos. So there's an offset in the Deadwood here, and along this contact, which is back over the hill. So the Madison limestone is the road cut right up there, and then down in this valley heading off to the south is the contact between the Precambrian rocks and the Deadwood Formation. And that was a site of a lot of gravels that had accumulated on top of the metamorphic rock before the Deadwood Formation was deposited, and had gold in it. And so this was a place where prospectors came to dig out gold. If you've been regularly watching these videos, here a while back we took a walk on what was called the Flume Trail, where water was diverted to the town of Rockerville, which is exit to Rockerville is just right around the corner right there, and we'll be heading there in a few minutes. And that's where the water was diverted to work through these gravel deposits to try to sift out the gold. All right, we just got out at the top of Foster Gulch, and we're gonna hike in a little bit here and look at these the rocks in here. It's right now it's too windy to put the drone up. You get up about 50 feet or so, and it's really blowing hard. So I don't know if we'll get any drone footage in today. But this is somewhere we'll come back again and do with the drone, so we can fly over this valley. But this is a gorgeous area in here. The trees are just starting to turn. This is early October, first couple of days of October. And surprisingly, there's no one here. Right down over where we're going to walk down through these trees, right over behind me here, there's a couple of rock crawling trails. I kind of thought there'd be some people up here today doing some rock crawling, but I don't see anybody. So we'll just take a walk around and look at some of the geology here. It's pretty spectacular. There's really nice coarse-grained pegmatitic granite here, really nice slates and schists with all kinds of minerals in them, so we'll see some minerals. This is an area I bring my students in one of my classes every year. We spend a day out here mapping, and they map the different types of rock and then try to make a determination on how thick the soil is in areas that don't have bedrock. And the whole project is aimed at, we're pretending that someone has bought this property and wants to develop some home sites on here. And to put a home site, you need an on-site wastewater system or a septic tank, and you have to meet certain thicknesses of soil above bedrock and above groundwater and those kinds of things. And so we're just doing a preliminary survey, the mapping part, to map some of the superficial geology in this area. So I get out here quite frequently and have walked around this property quite a bit, and so I'll try to hit some of the highlights of the areas that I've seen here over the years of being out here. This rock is schist. It's got a lot of structure in it, as you can see. So some of that could very well be original bedding. There's very coarse grained, a lot of quartz going through here. Then there's some feldspars in here, so that's like a little vein of granite. And like this little vein running up here is the same thing. So we'll see some good granites here in a bit. This has a lot of minerals in it. So if you can see right here, all these black, where's my finger here? Hello, there we go. So these black minerals in here, those are the mineral Starlight. So this is a Starlight schist. There's Starlights in here, they're all over in here. Some are quite big. You find them weathered out as well, this lane, because the mineral itself is harder than the schist. So the schist will weather, and the Starlights don't weather as much, and so they'll fall out as a full crystal. And sometimes these crystals are twinned. So twinning is common. That just means that as one crystal's growing, another one's growing at an angle to it, and they cross over each other. And these they look like a cross, Starlight crosses, and I'm not seeing any here. Sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't. I have a sample of one at the house, so if I remember when I'm editing this, I may get it out. But there's some nice ones here that are sticking out. There's a relatively big one that's a 1/2 inch. These are not gem quality minerals by any means. So again, you can see in this schist, you can see all this what looks like bedding. And again, some of it could be bedding. These could be forsets on the sands, and this is kind of a sandy unit right there. I can see right here just by looking at it. So some of these rocks, if they're not metamorphosed to a great extent, they retain some of the original sedimentary structure, the bedding. Except Starlight is a higher grade metamorphic rock, so these have been metamorphosed. Okay, so this is pretty hard. Let me break a piece off and I'll take a look at it. There it goes, somewhere down here. I see it. There it is right there. Okay, I'll put the camera down while I look. Okay, again, Briggs isn't with me today, so I'm stuck doing this on my own. Let's see what we can see in here. This is a pretty small piece. Okay, a lot of mica, and it looks like both muscovite and biotite, so both the potassium and iron form of mica. Yeah, this looks like primarily a mica, just a mica schist. I'm not seeing much quartz in here. Okay, so this rock started out as a deposit of mud, and more than likely this was a marine deposit, and so silt and mud deposited in the sea, settling down through water, and then was later metamorphosed. And the metamorphism converts the mineralogy that was in the mud into a similar mineralogy, but changes crystal form, and so you end up with mica. And you can see all these alignments in here, and then these quartz veins and little granite veins that are penetrating this occurred later. Okay, let's continue on down the trail. Okay, here's the sign up here for the rock crawling park, so maybe I could have driven down to here and parked as well. Yeah, I probably could have. This is a great day. It's probably mid-70s for temperature. Last week we had 3 days in the 90s, and man, was that uncomfortable. Just really hot. And then it kind of broke, and we had one kind of a gloomy spit and rain day where the high temperature was in the mid-50s. And then the last couple of days it's been in the lower 70s, and I think that's pretty much the forecast for the next week, if not longer, as we go into October here. Okay, so here's the sign: Bikini and T-back rock crawling trails. So difficulty an 8 and a 9. That doesn't mean much to me because I don't rock crawl. And oh, here's a map, but it's in the sun, so you can't see it very well. You try to get off angle. Nope, that doesn't work. So there's probably, since this is U.S. Forest Service, there's probably information on the U.S. Forest Service website for the Black Hills that will talk about these trails if you would be interested. So let's take off on one of these, walk down a little bit. Again, starlights are everywhere. I just turn around and there's starlights all over in this rock. These typically are not gemstones. It's a mineral referred to as an accessory mineral. Basically describes a metamorphic grade. There are some twins in here, but they're pretty small. I don't think they'd show up on the camera. If I found a nice cross, I'd try to show you that. see they rock crawl up over this. And it's about 2 feet, 2 foot high rock ledge here. Be kind of fun if someone was out here running around. But it's a great day. Sky's really clear. It's been clearing up day by day. Start of the week was the clearest we'd had in quite a while, and then that rainy day on Wednesday in the middle of the week, it's really improved since then, and tremendously clear today. And the visuals are the best they've been for months here. So we should get on some points to be able to see a little bit today. That they're just looking across the canyon, clear blue sky. I'd love to have 2 or 3 of these size rocks in my yard. Again, I keep telling my students if they show up with something like this in my yard, they get an automatic A. No one's taken me up on it yet. All right, here's another rock crawl trail. I guess they bump up this big old chunk of rock right here. Pretty amazing. There's some scrapes. Someone bellied out or something there. So this is a perfect day for someone to be out here rock crawling, but no one's here. More rocks. Now this is a pretty good one here, 6 or 8 feet. Here's a good example of quartz veining. Look at all those contortions in there. Again, very, very rich in starlights. All these little bumps on the surface are starlights. Then quartz veins going through. It's really nice rock. Well, it looks like they bump over that pretty good. That's all broken down. Then they come down through here, tear that up, going over there. And I'm going to jump off the trail and head down the hill a little bit. Oh, more trails down here. Doesn't look much used.